We're often told to seek happiness, to avoid pain, to live life of comfort and ease. But what if that is exactly what's holding us back? What if the thing we fear the most, heartbreak, loss, suffering, are the very thing we need to unlock our potential, find true meaning, and appreciate life in a way we never thought was possible? The idea we're going to explore today are drawn from the work of Marcel Proust as interpreted by the philosopher Alain de Botton in his book, How Proust Can Change Your Life. I'll put a link to the book in the description. Let's start with a hard truth about love. We often fall for an illusion. We project our dreams and fantasies onto someone, creating this supplementary person in our minds. Perhaps we don't actually love the real person, but this idealized version. This is why when the initial magic fades and reality sets in, we feel disillusioned. The key isn't to find a perfect person, but to learn to see and love the real, imperfect person behind the fantasy. But how would we actually do that? Instead of seeing a partner's flaw as something that destroys this fantasy, embrace them as the very thing that makes them real and unique. The most profound love isn't for an ideal, but for a specific, quirky detail of a person. It's the unique combination of their habits, their vulnerabilities, and their faults that define that person. True understanding in a relationship is a slow and gradual process. It requires learning the other person's language, which isn't just about words, but about their emotions, history, and internal world. By paying close attention to their unique way of thinking and feeling, you move beyond the surface level fantasy into a more genuine, empathic connection. This process can be way more rewarding and long-lasting than that initial infatuation. So what are some ways that we can do this? One, you can use absence as an aid. Proust observed that we often appreciate a person most when they're absent. This brief taste of loneliness and a threat of a loss can remind us of our partner's true value. Rather than avoiding conflict or time apart, you can use this moment to reflect. A little distance can reawaken your appreciation and allow you to see them not just as a possession, but as a separate, wonderful individual whose presence in your life is actually a gift. Now, for the most uncomfortable part of love, which is jealousy, we see it as a destructive force, and it often is. But what if jealousy is a wonderful catalyst that shatters our complacency? When we feel that the threat of a rival, we are forced to confront the fact that our partner is not in our possession. This fear of loss can reawaken our interest and make us appreciate the value of what we took for granted. In a sense, jealousy can be the engine that reminds us to actively love rather than passively possess. Happiness and routine are comfortable, but they can have a numbing effect. While life is easy, our senses go to sleep. We stop truly seeing the world. Perhaps we don't really learn until we are in pain. A breakup, a loss, a failure. These are all powerful lessons that jolts us out of our slumber. They force us to reflect, to ask difficult questions, and to gain insights that we could have never found in textbooks or in happy routines. It's the shock of the pain that makes us pay attention and truly see life with new eyes. This brings us to a radical idea: purposeful abstinence and delayed gratification. If habit dulls our appreciation, then a conscious withholding of something we desire can sharpen it. By deliberately delaying a pleasure, we give our mind time to savor the anticipation. By not constantly satisfying our every whim, we retain a sense of curiosity and desire. It's a form of control, not just to build discipline, but to ensure we truly appreciate the moment of joy when they arrive. For example, Proust suggests that the little insomnia isn't without its value, as it makes us truly appreciate sleep. Have you noticed that the food tastes much better when you're super hungry? The wisdom we gain from suffering isn't just for ourselves. For Proust, pain is the raw material of great art. He believed that the artist's mission is to take the pain of their lives and transform it into something meaningful, by turning our griefs into ideas, by writing about it. painting it and composing music from it, we reduce its power to hurt us. The creative process is a form of healing. It's a victory we achieve over our pain, a victory that can help inspire and help others. So what are some examples of this? First, outward expression as a release. Proust saw artistic creation as a way to externalize and objectify pain, similar to how talking out a problem provides relief. When you're suffering, the pain feels chaotic and overwhelming. Giving it a form, whether through writing, painting, or composing music, transforms that chaos into something tangible and manageable. This act of outward expression isn't just a coping mechanism, it's the first step in a meaningful process. It provides a momentary sense of peace by giving shape to the shapeless. Second, what about self-reflection and gaining wisdom? The real value, however, comes from the second step, which is self-reflection. Once the suffering has been expressed and made external, you can examine it from a distance. By analyzing the creation, we can trace the pain back to its source and understand why it affected you so deeply. This introspection leads to a deeper, more profound form of wisdom. For Proust, this wisdom is the true reward of suffering. It's the realization of a hidden truth about yourself or the world that you could not see otherwise. And lastly, letting go and planning for the future. After you've identified the source of your feeling, you're no longer its victim. You're now in possession of power. You can form a plan to tackle it, whether that means setting boundaries, changing a habit, or accepting an unchangeable reality. The act of making this plan is the final step in the process, allowing you to let go of this pain. It's not about forgetting the suffering, but about transforming its power over you. The suffering becomes part of your history, a source of wisdom that informs your future action and decision, rather than burden that holds you back. So, the next time you face a painful moment, whether it's a breakup, a job loss, or a personal setback, don't just endure it, embrace it. Ask yourself what it's trying to teach you. Because in Proust's word, it's not easy days that shapes us, but the hard ones. The real voyage of discovery isn't seeking new landscapes, but in having seen it through new eyes. Thank you for staying with me to the end. If these type of videos are helpful for you, please subscribe, comment, and be part of a community to grow together. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, stay curious, keep questioning, and take care of yourself. Ha det.